Good evening, everybody. This is another session of Free to Heal. And Free to Heal, we come together every week to heal the ravages of what mass incarceration has done to us as individuals, being either formerly incarcerated or loved ones, children of people who were incarcerated. All of that affects the whole community. And so we come together to try to learn from each other and to figure out how we can heal the wounds and the things that actually affected us. And so tonight, I want to talk about something I talked to with a group of guys at one of the institutions today. I did a Zoom with them, and they were talking about why, part of why men abuse women. And
because they're cowards.
Well, there's that, right? But definitely there's that. But another part of the issue is that these are people who are broken themselves. So they're damaged. Ben, by all means, get a chair, baby, and come on in. But they're damaged, and then therefore, hurt people. Bottom line, right? That's at the end of the day, that's the reality. Right. Well, and they hurt people because they don't know what else to do. They reach out and they hurt. Come on inside, Ben, so you can be close enough so you can hear in case you say something. So they hurt, they lash out because they're hurting. Okay. Another part of the concept that I really wanted to talk about, because when I opened this and I saw this definition of healthy in my workbook, and this is what brought it up in the conversation today. So in a poem that was read and different things, there was the concept that some women, this came from some of the guys. Some women don't deserve to be abused, and some women do. And well, you ever hear of the concept of a good girl versus a hoe or a bad girl? She still don't. Right. That. Right. Now, right. This is coming from them, and this is coming from people who are already hurt, right? But there's also this side of it too. There are some women who abuse. There are some women who abuse, and no man deserves to be abused, just like no woman deserves to be abused. I lost a friend, a male friend who kept going back to this woman. As it turned out, it was because they did drugs together, but she wound up killing him. And the police, when they came when he died, they commented that they always came to that house and it was always her abusing him. But our conversation, so one of the guys, when I had said to them, the issue is, I understand, and I did grow up believing that there's no reason whatsoever that a man should ever hit a woman. And I grew up believing that, and what changed my concept of that was watching my cousin's husband beat him with a broom. And he refused to hit her back. And I had to leave so that I didn't get involved. But the issue is that you shouldn't put your hands on anybody if you don't want to be hit back. That's something that I had to come to. I had to understand there are some women that will put themselves in harm's way. Another thing that came up was, and I only know this to be true because I've had a guy tell me this, there are some women who cannot be satisfied sexually unless it's on the abusive tip. I had a guy explain to me that he had to stop seeing a woman because her very first experience was a sexual assault. And that was the only way that she could be satisfied. She wanted him to act like he was sexually assaulting her, and he couldn't do it. So he had to stop being with her. but there are people in those circumstances. So it is very scary to think that this is what is acceptable to people, but it doesn't mean that they deserve to be abused. And what I offered them is, because the one guy's concept was this was yet another guy's concept was, if I'm with my homies and him and his woman get into it or whatever, I don't know what she did to cause him to do that. And I said to him, you're right, because we know statistically for law enforcement, the most dangerous call in the world to go out on is a domestic violence case.
Yeah, because they'll flip.
Yeah, right. And that's what happens is that they go out to, excuse me, they go out to try to rescue whoever's being abused, and that person winds up turning on law enforcement. So this guy was saying, if I don't know what happened and why it's going on, I just mind my business. And what I was saying to them is that may be culture, that may be societal, the way the society is set up. It may be the way the gang culture is set up or whatever. And I can understand we're not wanting to get involved if you don't know what's going on. But I was explaining to them that the difference is what we're talking about. And the reason we come together is we want to have healthy foundations, healthy relationships, healthy interactions with each other. We want healthy foundations. So we're not going to use the terms good and bad, right? Because some people think a dysfunctional, unhealthy relationship is good. They like it like that. Some of those women who have only had bad experiences, they can only become satisfied sexually through a violent experience. They think that's good sex. But is it healthy? It's not healthy. And so our goal with whatever we're doing is we want to have.
I think it would be hard on the man.
Wait 1 second. Say that again.
I think it would be hard on the man if he's a decent man. He can't mistreat a woman when he's having sex. What the fuck is that?
Or he should learn the behavior that she wants him to learn.
Yeah.
And then he overdoes it. They break up, and now he's perpetuating that same behavior on the next woman and the next woman, because I do have someone in my family that is just that way. But it started with a relationship with a woman who needed to be a victim.
Yeah. Well,
and he's 50 years old and still messed up and still can't have a decent, solid relationship, because for him, it always has to lead to violence because of his girlfriend.
And that's what happened. My brother used to say that first cut is the deepest. So the first experience where they have really have a good experience sexually or have an orgasm, whatever that is, it can be that. And you're right though, Pike, because it is very difficult. That's what one guy told me. He said, I had to walk away from her.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that. That wasn't pleasing to him.
No.
Right. So here you are, and like you say, then if you get out of it, now you're trying to carry that into the next relationship, and that's not healthy. It's not wholesome. Part of the definition, enjoying health, conducive to health. But what does that mean? Wholesome implies appearance and behavior indicating soundness and balance, is built on a good foundation. Violence is never a good foundation. There's nothing about it that's a good foundation. But I also was trying to get the guys to understand this. Because one of the guys was saying that his concept was, we're imprisoned and we can only get a certain caliber woman. And so because of that, we see that she's broken. And so we see the signs of it. And then we try to, we figure, well, maybe we could work through it or whatever. And I said, first of all, you started with the concept that somehow you're less than. There's something you believe about yourself that says, I can only have, I deserve this. I can only have this caliber of woman.
And that's not true. A lot of women are like being in prison.
Hey,
knocking the door down
And listen, and not only that,
They
and-
might not be, no.
That's what I'm saying, but there's a lot of things that you wouldn't even think like that person, you doing what? Like,
raise my hand. Can y'all see me? I dated a man in prison. That's how I wound up doing this work. Okay, there wasn't nothing wrong with me. I didn't find him in prison.
you know, you can find them
I didn't
there,
go on
But
the
you
prison
have-
websites
yeah.
looking for a
but
man
you have women
incarcerated.
that do that. They-
But there
yeah.
are women that do that.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. I was stunned to find out that there are
Yeah.
websites.
But my point to that is, it doesn't matter how wholesome that woman looks. What you're talking about is a deviant woman. You're talking about a woman who has either decided that they're that broken also, or a woman who needs to have
Control. Yes.
over a man, that she stays put where she wants him.
Yeah.
Yes, and I
Like-
know.
To make a wholesome person.
No,
It doesn't
and
matter if she got on that plaid dress with that Lucille Ball collar.
wait with the little
Right,
She-
right.
the little lace collar.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
the little white lace collar. The little white lace collar. It don't matter. Right.
Don't look at, don't just look at that book. Don't
Right.
look at the outside of that book.
Right.
Look at the inside. Open the pages. Yeah.
You're not that you are, but sometimes the man is basing it on the looks of the woman.
True.
Oh, she's nice, she's got a nice shape,
Mhm.
she's got a good job, oh, she's this, but that woman becomes a perpetrator of that deviance to want to be in that particular type of control, even if she's submissive to him. The fact that he's there, she has control over it.
True that, that's true.
At some level, and let me tell you why I know that you're telling the truth, Tony, because in all my years at the Francisco homes, right? In the many years there were men who were incarcerated. They had life sentences, and they had women who were with them, and more than one of them, as long as their sentence was indeterminate, as long as their sentence was indeterminate, those women were with them. But the minute the men got a date, the woman started acting funny, and some of them actually divorced them.
Wow.
Now, that tells you, Tony, like you're saying, there's something very unhealthy about them.
Right.
Because there's no balance, they want control. The one thing that we can never do is control another person.
Yeah, right.
We're lucky if we can control ourselves.
Right.
That's a blessing and a gift, right?
Right.
So these people, women who go looking for men who are incarcerated, and they seek them out, there is something out of balance a lot of times.
Yeah.
Now, if you met somebody or you know somebody and they went to prison and you decided to stay down, that's a totally different thing. That's a different thing, right? Were married and your husband went to prison. So you went and did all those visits and all of those things and everything that went along with that because he was already your husband. Now, there are some people who, again, like they only want that guy for that. But there are women, as I was explaining to that man, I said, listen, there are quality women that will date a guy that is in prison. There are. And I know in my case, I knew him when he was out of prison. And when he went to prison, he didn't become a less quality person to me. But what I also noticed, and in the poem that I wrote about it, what I realized was, and I had this discussion with you guys not too long ago, but I realized that when he was in prison, he allowed himself to dream. He allowed himself to plan and want to have a better quality life. But when he came home, all of the other things were facing him. They were all there. He told me he had an addiction to the hood. And therefore, that was the thing he was most concerned about, was whether he would get caught up going back and forth in the hood. And he, at some level, did, but then he avoided it in some levels, but then not really. And so ultimately, he dismantled everything that he built when he came home. He was in the union, iron worker, had an apartment, everything, all of it's gone. And now he is living on the street. But he made choices that made that his reality. But also, when he called me, and this is what I know I talked to you guys about not too long ago, he got arrested for something that happened, and he called me from county jail, and it was like the person that I knew that I fell in love with when he was in prison. Because because he was clean, right? He was clean for a minute. Also, he was able to dream again. He was able to actually dream to have a better life again. And when he was in prison, it's one of the things I said, you dared to dream a dream when you were incarcerated. When you came out, you know, now the real world is chasing you down. It's right here and you got to live through it. And so it was difficult for him to overcome because he had an identity crisis. Well, who am I? I know who I wanted to be, but all of that requires actual work, right? It requires consistency. And the one thing that I despise about what prison does to people is it has a tendency to make them lazy. Because there's all of these breaks. You know, you got you go to work, but then you got the break time, you got count time, you got chow, you got all these different things. You don't work a full 8-hour day nonstop and all this kind of stuff. And it inbreds a certain amount of laziness, and it takes a lot to get back on track to being able to live the constant struggle that it is to make a life out here. Life takes work every single day, every day. And so it was difficult for him to live that struggle, I believe. I've watched other people who haven't been to prison do the same thing. I've watched them dismantle their whole life because they don't want the work involved in keeping up with the lifestyle. So once they've improved, they don't want to keep the lifestyle. But there's an issue with thinking that, first of all, what I explained to this guy is you have to, first of all, improve and heal yourself. You will attract to you what you are. You will attract to you what is suitable for you. Is probably a better way to say it. Because if you are a person who is a giver, you're going to attract a taker, right? What is suitable for you. However, if you're whole and you're compassionate and you're giving and caring, you will attract that also. Okay? You will attract what marries to what you are. So the thing that I advised him to do was to be whole in who he is, and then he can be whole and attract a whole woman. Another guy, when I was at Solano, and I was up there, and he was telling me, I think I might have shared it with you guys before. He was telling me that he, from doing self-help, he realized that he's broken, and he realized that the woman that he's with is broken as well, and she's very broken. And his question to me was, you know, how do I make this work when I get out? And my advice to him was run. That's the only advice I could give you. Run like Forrest Gump. Why? Because he's been down. He said he went in about 17, he's in his 50s. So listen, you're going to have so many things that you have to deal with just to survive. He knew he was getting out. And he was like, and so he said, so my question is, I need some advice on how we can make this work, because we're both so broken. And I said to him, no, you can't. What you're going to do, you're going to have so many things that you need to face that there is no possibility that you can make that work. You're going to have too many issues for you to face on a regular basis. You've been gone too long. You're going to have too many obstacles for you to face for you to be trying to make it work with another person that's broken. So what you need to do is you need to run. He said, that's the same thing my sister said. Yeah, he didn't want to accept that. But the reality is that he had too many obstacles as it was that he was going to have to face just to get back into society. He's lived his entire adult life in prison. Being in society was going to be a big enough challenge that he didn't need to be trying to make a relationship with work with somebody who was already broken. One of the things I explained to him was, yeah, can y'all put that on the floor? Because it's got logos on it, and I don't want them to get no free advertisement. Okay, no logos here. So I don't care about them neither. They ain't get no free advertisement neither. Nah, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Give a damn.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Don't care. If the Lakers want to sponsor Free to Heal, let me put it out there. If they want to sponsor Free to Heal and do a conference for us and bring more people together so we can help more people heal, let the Lakers pony up. Okay?
We did pony up. We bought some wings.
Say the name of that, and I promise you, I'm gonna sock you right in the head.
Oh, that be side out my.
Oh, say it, I promise you, it's going down, okay? And we don't advocate violence here. We just talked about the fact that we don't advocate violence, and I'm getting ready to get violent. Don't you get that close? Don't you cut? Okay, don't you press it? See, this is what he doing right now. By coming up closer to me than he was before. This is why the guys were saying, sometimes I don't know what that woman did, and I can't tell homie not to sock her out, okay? Because I don't know what she did. Now, in this instance, this is a perfect example, right? I'm open. I'm here trying to have a good conversation, and he making me feel uncomfortable, like I need a weapon. Because he rolling up behind me. Now, he know in the pen, you don't roll up behind nobody. Is that right? You get that close.
The hood is there. I don't care what she says. It's always there. That's why she's going to stab you. The hood is not gone away. It's just kind of put on a shelf.
No, it's in her back pocket.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep.
She gonna turn around.
Yes,
She wearing like a lucky charm on a chain. So it's real close to it.
My mother used to have this saying, when you put your suit on, I'm zipping mine up. Okay, so that hood suit, yeah, we're not asking you to get rid of it. We're just asking you to temper the violence, okay? But some of that you're gonna need so that I know that when he easing up behind me like that, it might be necessary for me to defend myself, okay? That's all, okay? We just saying. I'm just saying.
Having you close to me.
You know what I mean? You better go back over there with Tony. You see why?
Oh, wow. Now you want to throw things.
But this is that conversation that the guys were saying in Solano. They were saying, you know, some women, they do things and you don't know what they did that caused him. And I was telling them one day, I'm on Central Avenue, I'm driving up the street, and I see this guy literally dragging this woman up the street by her hair. And I can't watch you abuse her. So I pulled over and I said, listen, you're gonna need to stop that. Like, shut up. Of course, he called me a bunch of names, whatever. Who cares? I said, but I'm gonna call the cops. He said, well, call whoever you want. So as soon as I picked up the phone and went to go call 911, he let her go. But then I hear him saying to her, and forgive the language, y'all, bitch, you got fucking kids in the house by themselves. Okay, so now I'm a mother, right? And I'm thinking, she did what? Right? Now I want to fight her, right? Right?
Leave the kids in the house now.
Don't leave the babies in the house by themselves while you out doing whatever you doing.
Right. And the staff, it's still setting for me the wrong reason because even though that's what she did, response to that is where you get yourself in trouble. You don't know what that woman did to that man, but you are looking at what that man did to that woman in that moment, and you understand that within itself is not okay.
He going to jail.
Right, or something
They
else.
both going to jail.
Well, I mean,
Find out she left the kids.
Well, this is
That's one situation. I'm talking about for general, because before
Yes.
you came in, she was talking about the man in Solano talking about, yeah, I don't know what that woman did to that man to make him behave that way. That doesn't justify it. You know, that's all I'm saying, is that it doesn't justify that. You have to stop that man or whoever it is and say, hey, this is not the type of reaction that you want to have, because violence only gets violence.
Exactly. Now let me tell you what else I was saying. I was explaining to them, I said, the reality is that that woman showed signs of being low character, low quality, long before you had kids with her. The signs were there, right? But before you had the second one, you knew, right? So now, even if they were her kids and you wound up having just one with her, okay, whatever it was, you knew how she treated her children. The reality is, though, is that same woman made herself convenient to you. That same woman allowed you to come hit it when you wanted to, with no responsibility. You see that?
Allowed you to bask in the low quality.
In low
with her.
And the low responsibility, right? There was low responsibility, low accountability, all of those things. And so because you chose that, that does not justify, you can't pick up the story where she, you can't pick up the story where she was in violation. You got to go all the way back to where you violated yourself. Because you knew that she was low quality when you did it. I used the example of you knew it was a snake when you brought it in the house, and now you mad because it bit you, right? Well, you knew, and so if we are looking for quality in the first place versus convenience, and we're willing to be accountable to and for quality, then you can have that. You got to make a quality investment, but you can't make a champagne 4 in a cardboard box investment and get top shelf liquor quality in
Well, look
in
here.
what you do. Go ahead.
Most men are dogs.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to having sex, they'll jump on anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame the man.
Absolutely, you can't blame the man, because you can jump on anything, but that don't mean you have to leave.
You don't have to stay.
Yeah, well, if you don't have to stay, then you need to jump with trash bags. If you ain't
How about
got
that?
trash bags,
Wait,
you
whoa,
can
whoa,
some of that.
That's right. Wrap it up, baby. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Everybody wants to jump on the game.
No.
But I think it's an even
No.
thing between men and women. Because you got some women that jump on anything.
Sure.
You got some men that jump on anything.
Yeah, well,
So I mean, it go both ways.
It does, but
My thing is, if I'm sitting here and her mask is looking real nice, I can't see through the mask until later on when it's too late.
well, then you shouldn't have sex with her till you see through the mask. No, you need to look. Your obligation to yourself and to her. Listen carefully.
Yeah.
Don't miss this.
Yeah.
Your obligation to yourself and to her is to not engage with sex with her until you know. That's what your job is, and the reason for that is, okay, and the reason for that is so that you don't wind up having to drag her by her hair in the street because she done left your kids at home while you at work.
Well, my thing is this, like you said earlier,
What's your thing?
the evidence was in.
What's your thing?
It was, yes.
Evidence was in the beginning. Now, if I pursue it past that, then I know what I'm getting.
But even
But
still,
then I'm not gonna put my hands on her because I knew what I got from beginning.
But
some men don't. They not paying attention. That's what all of this conversation is about. Yes. That's literally.
But he put his hand on the woman for the actions that she displayed right now, but he's had plenty of information
Yes.
that
Prior to
should
that.
not have landed to that point. So that's why I came back with, You can jump all day long, but you need to be jumping with the trash bags. And
That's
if you
right.
get caught up one time, you have a decision to make. You know, in my lifetime, I have
Snuff her out, put her in the
many
trash bag.
so many men in my life, my uncles and friends who have taken custody of their children.
Yes.
When they didn't feel that the woman had the responsibility. So, but they didn't like keep having those kids and keep doing those things, right?
I took my first step.
Okay, well, that's the point. So you learn from your mistake early on. But if you continue to make the mistake, you got Junior, you got Karen, you got Keisha, and you got Thaddeus, and then now she done left all them stair steps in the house so she can go clubbing, and now you dragging her down the street. This started way before Junior.
Yeah.
Is the point that we're making.
Exactly. And so that way,
Oh.
hello, ooh, and then trying to be all up in it. So this the thing, huh? Ooh. So this is the thing.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? So, like in all seriousness, right? We are about trying to help us be better, trying to help us have better relationships, healthier. Well, and it don't even matter. Okay. But this is the thing.
After the 9 days, you got it.
This is also why you don't put a time frame on it. This is why, and let me tell you something, that 90 days, probably if that's your time frame, that 90 days need to restart with everybody you hook up with, everybody you meet. It need to start over. It's not just 90 days with myself. I need to give anybody time. I need to know who they are. I need to give them time for me to see beyond the mask, James. That's the issue. I gotta give it a chance for the mask to come down. And let me tell you one thing that came out today also in the group. If you just listen long enough, if you patient, they're going to tell you who they are.
Just listen.
Listen when they're telling you about somebody else and they don't think it had nothing to do with you. That's them. That is them. Right? So people are going to tell you and show you who they are. You got to believe them. But let me tell you what we do. Done it before. Oh, well, he's not going to do me like that. Yeah, yes, that really happened.
That was because she was trash.
Right. Right, and I'm not trash. And so therefore, okay, and people think, oh, well, it's not going to happen to me. Or even this thought, which would be more closer to what I was thinking. Oh, I'm not going to let that happen to me. Mm-hmm. And look up, and there you are, all caught up in the web. Caught up, can't figure out how to get out or whatever. Why? Because you thought that you could, like I said, I never thought I could change anybody, but I did think I could handle it. I thought I could handle it, but no, I couldn't.
That's the hardest part, trying to handle something that you don't even know what it is.
And you don't know what it is. And you think you can handle it because it sounds like a good offer up front. Mm-hmm. Right? It sounds like, oh, well, I could tolerate, I could deal with that.
Because guess why? You can say that at that moment because my feelings not involved.
Right. I'm not all, my feelings ain't there. They not, okay.
They're cool right now.
But after you done pulled on that string, did I tell y'all this? Because I used to tell them at the Francisco homes this all the time. There is a string from a woman's vagina to her heart, y'all. Mm-hmm. And if you keep tugging on it, sooner or later, she's going to have feelings. Period. That's it. And so will he. Quiet as it's kept. Don't think it's just her. He going to have feelings too. Okay. So what happens is not, like you said a minute ago, initially it sounded good. Like I can handle that now, but he ain't been tugging on that string. Right? Okay. And look, I like sex much as the next one. I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping like that until I am. Yeah. I'm not tripping until I am. Yeah, see, well, now I'm in the bushes. Yeah. All right, I'm in the bushes with my bathrobe and the flashlight. See, okay, and Tony going over the fence. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, okay. And the men need to understand that.
Yeah, it's
No.
Right?
I think
Man-
you're all fucking crazy.
Okay, well, look at here. Well, we know you crazy too.
I'm not crazy.
Yes, you are. That's why. Okay. Wait a minute. So he gonna tell us he ain't crazy. All the times he done told us about the redhead that busted out his damn window.
No, I
Okay,
think they can get
she
shot
threw the
at
brick.
her.
I'm not only a member, I'm also the president.
Crazy coming all shades, honey. And let me tell you something. Okay.
Everybody is.
And listen, and then you think you could handle it, whatever. Oh, you know, just a prime example, James. You thought you could be friends.
Say it again.
See, you thought you could be
You
friends,
thought
baby.
they was friends.
Right? And I could be friends, and then we could talk, and I could tell you I got company, which is gonna send her into a tailspin and make her start acting crazy.
Alcohol and a vegetable, and that don't make it.
And the alcohol in anything, in anybody, okay? That can all be, and look, and this is the thing.
That's all right.
But see-
Restraining orders work.
Let me tell you this, we trying to prevent, okay, let's be clear what we're talking about here.
Thank you. Stop.
Everybody understand? We trying to be healthy here. We trying to have to not have restraining orders, y'all. Okay? Because heavens knows they don't even work half the time.
They don't work at all.
Okay, but at least you stand some chance of whatever. But no, what we're trying to do here, we're trying to prevent having to go there in the first place. What we want is we want to have healthy, we want to be intentional about the relationships that we engage in. We want to be intentional about the behavior. Like I told the guy, I said, okay, I can understand you not wanting to get involved in their situation, but what you don't have to sit there and watch it though either.
No.
You don't have to sit there and entertain it. You can see what they're doing and you can say, I don't want to participate in that. And so I'm gonna excuse myself. I know this is y'all house or whatever, because that was the scenario. We at their house or whatever. Okay, we're at your house. I'm leaving because I don't want to participate in this. I don't want to be here when this happens. Okay. I'm not going to try to tell you how you should handle your woman. Cause like I told them, I understand the fastest way to get into trouble is start telling somebody how to handle their man or their woman. All right. That's the fastest way to lose a friend. Okay. So I understand that. But I also know that I'm not a fake friend. And if I'm watching you do something that I know is detrimental to your relationship, I am going to tell you. And I will say that. So, but if I recognize that I can't tell you, then I'm not sure I even want to be your damn friend. Quite frankly, if your only solution is violence against another person, you can't use your words or you can't remove yourself from the situation. Oh no, you can remove yourself. Yes, you can.
Walk away.
You just walk away. It takes a lot of power sometimes. Listen, there have been more people in my life that have deserved to have their blocks knocked off. And it took so much strength and power not to do it, not to fight them. Just the strength, I'm telling you, and sometimes it'll make you like shake. One time, this one here, Miss Di, she had to pull me back from the ledge. And I called her and I was like, I was up here. I'm talking, I am screaming at the top of my lungs. I don't even know if she could halfway hear what I was saying. I was so mad. So she goes, well, you know, they're only trying to get a reaction from you. And I'm still screaming. And the louder I scream, she go here. Well, no, they're only trying to get a reaction out of you. And then it caused me to have to come down from screaming. And I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds of that. And then I was okay to breathe or whatever. But it took her to remind me what was really at play, because the person really deserved to be handled. If violence ensued, they in some ways deserved it. But it's much more powerful not to respond. It takes so much strength not to do that. And that person knew that they knew they was wrong. They knew daggone well when they set out to do what they did that they were wrong. That they knew. They
The
knew.
reaction they thought they was gonna get, that's why I said,
Backfired.
yep, that's why I kept saying, no. You know what this is, right? I said, oh, but I tell you something, you know what they trying to get, right? I said, okay, I understand.
And she let me go on and rant for a minute. And then she go, okay.
But you know what's going on, right?
And you know I wanted to choke her, right?
Like,
Y'all do know, okay, let's be clear. Every time she lowered her voice, I wanted to choke her a little bit more. Okay. Because I'm mad right
You
now.
was fired up that day. I was like, oh,
I'm
God,
mad.
Okay.
I can't even get to it. So, but she was so good at calming me down. Like she wouldn't let me stick with my own madness because I was gone. I was in a bad place.
Yeah, you was already outside, no shoes on.
I was outside with the white beater and everything. I ain't had no earrings. I ain't had no glasses. I was out in the middle of the street, y'all. I was off the porch already. I was off the porch. I was at the Vaseline and everything. I was Vaselined up, James. I was ready. I was ready. And listen, the person earned it. They deserved it, for real. For real. What they did, the violation, it was really out of pocket.
Nobody.
But
sometimes what happened?
It wasn't going to serve me, which is what she was telling me.
The thought were
Yes.
that she could justify it.
Yes.
It does not mean she could.
That's correct. Because under no circumstances, why, Tony, and you're so right, because why, Tony? Because what comes after that?
Right. I was just having this conversation at work about someone saying something for someone else. And I know, so that's why I did. You don't know what another person's thinking. But in that moment, you thought what you thought was necessary for that person, you still made a judgment call to not give them what you felt
that they deserve, right? Because guess what it was? You said the magic word, Tony. It was a feeling. I felt like and in that moment, it's all feeling. We talked about that before. In those moments, it's all feeling. There's no logic. There's no reason. And what Diane was doing was making me go to, wait a minute, you got to go to logic and reason. You got to go to information. You got to go to information. Right now, you're in the feeling zone, Noreen. You're in all feelings right now. Okay.
You and your feelings, so you need to calm down.
Yeah, bring that back down. Okay, we got to come out your feelings. Okay, at least step outside your feelings long enough. And the reason that's really important is this, is that at least if I had come out of my feelings for a moment and I decided that I made a conscious choice that I'm still going to do what I feel like I want to do, at least when I'm sitting in the pen, at least I know that I said in my heart, oh no, you chose this. You chose this, and you don't have nobody to blame. You can't blame the other person. You can't blame the circumstance. All you could do is live your truth because you knew. And she took me out of my feelings long enough for me to do that. Now, if I chose to go back, that was a decision I made. And that was a decision, then I'd have to live with that because now I'm sitting in the pen for something. Because you never see, one thing that people don't often understand is that you cannot predict the response.
The reaction is going to happen.
An action is going to have a reaction. It's going to produce, and you cannot predict, nor do you get to decide what the other person's reaction is going to be. And however you envision it, I had told my nephew that. I said, listen, you telling me when you see this person, it's takeoff on site and you're going to beat the brakes off of them. Okay, that's how you see it going. But you don't know how they see it going and you don't know how they're going to respond while you beating the brakes off of them. Right. What are they going to be doing while you beating their brakes off? You think they're just laying there, okay, well, here go the other brake. And what's going to happen after that? And what happens if law enforcement comes and sees you beating the brakes off of that person?
Yeah.
Where are you? What's happening? Right? So now you got something you got to answer for. So at the end of the day, again, as we talk about in trying to be healthy and healed and whole from the circumstances, we got to realize that it's about what's good or bad, because good and bad can be subjective. It can be subject, right? It's subject to whoever thinks it, just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Cause I thought I was in the rights when I went over there and bust off that people's window.
You did.
I did.
You
But
thought-
Cheryl sat there and said, no, you were wrong. I was like, I wouldn't.
Oh, and when you was busting out the windows and
I didn't think, I thought I was all the way in the right, cause I was in my feelings and I was mad.
all feelings.
But I thought I was right. But when she told me, I was wrong for that. I was like,
Dang.
but I was in my feelings, so I did all that. But it didn't make it right.
And their windows were still busted.
Yes, they were. Yeah, yeah.
And listen, now if when that happened, if they called the cops and it was over a certain amount of money,
Oh, it was a lot. I was going down.
oh, you was going, oh, you was
I did-
clearly going,
yeah, I did.
you did a lot of damage.
I did
Oh.
the big pretty window,
Oh.
I did all the side window, I did the door window.
Oh.
And I went to the car. Yeah.
Oh, you was doing windows.
Yes, I was on a road.
So you was going, yeah, you was going someplace.
Patron,
Oh, see, that's why I don't mess with that. I'm telling y'all, don't fool with that tequila. That
Yeah.
tequila, I'm gonna tell you, it make people aggressive.
Don't tell me I was wrong, so I
So now you gotta repent, and you know that you was wrong, and now you know not to do that again.
never do that.
Okay, now first of all, because you would never allow a situation to get to the point where you're angry at that level.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. The key is the prevention. When you see that this is no good for you, the key is to walk away
Yes.
while you still can.
Yes.
Don't blame it on somebody later.
No, I told the truth.
Walk away while you can. And that's usually early on. Why? Because y'all not pulling strings, right? You're not all invested. And then another thing that people use as a reason to stay, well, I done been with him all this time, and so what?
And that don't mean shit.
And so what?
And that don't
And
mean
so how
shit.
much more time are you going to waste?
Exactly.
Right?
That don't mean
So the
shit.
passage of time is, oh, well, I feel stupid. Well, now you know how not to feel stupid,
Yeah.
right?
Just get out.
Oh my,
Oh,
not
wow.
for them neither, because let me tell you
That's
something.
dumb too.
What you're doing is you got them in a toxic environment,
Exactly.
and you're teaching them that they should be living in a toxic environment,
That's not healthy.
and they don't know what a healthy relationship
That's not
looks like.
healthy.
They don't know what it's like for
That's not
to see a man and a woman have a healthy, loving relationship, because all y'all do is argue and call each other names.
That's not healthy.
That's not good either.
That's an argument.
Yeah.
Oh, that's worse.
And that's
Your
worse,
children
yes.
know. They know
Ugh.
exactly what's going on.
Exactly.
You teach your children, this is what love looks like, the
And that's not-
toxicity of it.
yeah.
Y'all don't
Right.
speak, dad falls asleep on
Right.
the couch, for the whole week,
Right.
mom's sleeping in the den. What you don't do are
Right.
very evident.
They
Right.
are, and the
Exactly.
children know they can
They know
feel it.
everything.
They can feel it. And they do. And like you say, we often think that they don't know.
Yeah, because they kids.
They know.
kids,
Or
they
the ones
kids.
that, or when they think the kids are asleep.
I used to spell to my friend,
Uh-huh.
and my friend was like, my daughter said, she said such and such and such.
And, you- and she could tell you exactly what you said.
She can tell me what I said and what I meant.
Okay. So,
I can't.
uh-huh. So at the end of
They
the,
know.
at the end of the day,
They do.
at the end of the day, our responsibility is to, again, be whole. Make yourself, if you're trying to figure out what to, make yourself whole. Heal your wounds. It's all an inside job. Take care of what's wrong with you.
Gotta start yourself first.
Start with self first, and then you can heal the relationships that you have. So I want to know, Mr. Terry, if there's anything that you want to add, any comments you have for tonight on the topic.
Well, I thought if you got in an argument with your wife, you don't hit her, sit her down and you talk things out. Maybe you can work things out and it doesn't lead to violence. That's what I always thought.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, I'm glad that you were able to join us this evening. I am grateful that we were all here, and I hope that we will see you guys next week. It has been another great session. I always learn something from you guys. I appreciate you guys. And check us out on YouTube, Instagrams, all the social media sites. Leave us comments, watch the videos, and let us know. Oh, one thing, anybody, here, you guys, y'all want to check out? You got something you want to say?
Don't do it.
Maureen?
Don't.
You want to check out?
Bye.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Noreen?
It was a nice conversation.
Yeah.
I've learned to be responsible for my own actions from now on. No
Wonderful.
one else's.
Wonderful. Miss,
Good night.
good night.
Good night.
Don't forget about that other guy.
I love me.
Good, that's good. That's a good thing.
Good night.
All right, you guys. All right, see you guys next week, okay?
Bye, Noreen.
Bye.